From the moment Courtney Hadwin stormed the stage of America's Got Talent, shy, wide-eyed, almost invisible off stage, the world sensed something was off. Everyone looked at the teenage girl and heard the voice of a rock soul queen, raw, raspy, haunting. In her audition, the innocence of youth collided with the fire of experience, leaving audiences stunned. Where did this come from? Fans whispered. Some assumed she was just a natural wonder. Others suspected something deeper, that behind the shy smile and nervous posture lay a history, a grind, a story of hidden talent and silent struggle. Why would someone with that voice wait until age 14 to surface? What was she hiding, and why? Now, Courtney has finally spoken openly, and what she confirmed answers so many of those questions. Her journey was never simple. The industry tried to mold her into pop perfection. Labels pressured her to fit a template that didn't match her soul. She walked away. She rebelled. And she rebuilt for the first time. Courtney reveals the real reason she stepped back after AGT's bright lights faded. The system didn't want her authentic. They didn't see the ragged edge, the grit, the raw emotion, the very traits that made her electric on stage. But Courtney refused to become someone else. She refused to let the world strip away her truth. What she confirmed isn't a secret scandal or shocking revelation about fame. It's something more powerful, that authenticity matters more than applause. So this isn't just a story about a breakout star. It's a story about a rebel soul who chose herself over the spotlight inside a cage. Now, she's back, stronger, realer, and more unpolished than ever. Because sometimes, the truth we suspected all along is the one that hits hardest when it comes out. When Courtney first walked onto the AGT stage, she looked nothing like the tornado of energy she would become. With her head down, body slightly hunched, eyes wide and nervous, she could have been mistaken for any shy teenager. But then the music started, and she transformed. Her body straightened, her hair tossed, and her voice ripped through the auditorium like lightning. What felt like chaos with screaming guitars, soulful rasp, uncontrollable movement made perfect sense. Everyone, including the judges, sensed this is not just talent. This is history. That night, she earned a golden buzzer, earned a place in the finals, and earned the world's attention. Few rap, but something even sharper than applause was born. Questions. How did a quiet kid from a small town claim a voice like that? Why haven't we heard anything like it in years? Fans speculated she had years of training, harsh life experience, or some secret background that shaped that voice. Courtney never directly answered, at least not then. She was just a teenager, still figuring herself out. But now, in 2025, that silence ended. In a recent interview, she opened up about the harsh realities behind the scenes, how after AGT she was pushed into writing sessions that didn't fit her style, how a major label tried to reshape her into pop perfect, how she felt pressured to sound polished instead of raw. She admitted that at times, she felt like she was losing herself. The girl who roared like a rock and roll storm on stage was being asked to whisper. She resisted. She walked away. She took years, but she refused to abandon the jagged edges that made her voice alive. Now, with her debut album on the horizon, and freshly released singles that echo her soul, gritty, emotional, unfiltered, Courtney isn't asking anyone to love or even like it. She's only asking to be heard for who she truly is. Because sometimes the hardest confirmation isn't a secret revealed. It's the truth someone finally dares to own. After America's Got Talent, the world expected Courtney Hedwin to follow a familiar path, instant stardom, glossy interviews, carefully managed singles, and a carefully polished public persona. But Courtney refused to fit that mold. In Chapter 2, she finally confirms what fans had long suspected. Her journey wasn't about chasing fame. It was about reclaiming her authentic self. In the months following AGT, Courtney faced immense pressure from producers, record labels, and managers who wanted to transform her raw, electrifying voice into something radio-friendly. She later admitted that every pitch, every songwriting session, and every studio visit tested her patience. The industry wanted to smooth her edges, to tame the very qualities that made her extraordinary. Fans had always suspected she wouldn't settle for compromise. And now Courtney confirmed it herself. She would rather wait than lose herself. Courtney took a step back, retreating from the public eye. While other young stars rushed to release singles and videos, she spent time experimenting, writing, and performing in smaller, more intimate venues. She collaborated with producers who understood her vision music that reflected not just technical skill, but heart, grit, and emotional honesty. For Courtney, the music wasn't about mass appeal. It was about expression. Each note had to resonate with the raw energy that fans fell in love with on AGT during this period. She also confronted the personal toll of early fame. Interviews revealed that she struggled with self-doubt and anxiety, particularly about whether the world would accept her true voice. "I didn't want to just perform for applause," she said in a recent interview. "I wanted to perform for me, for the music, and for the people who really hear it." This confirmed what fans had always suspected, that Courtney's success was never just about talent, it was about integrity and courage. Her breakthrough came with the release of her first independently guided single, a track that captured the essence of her stage persona, raw, raspy, and unapologetic. Critics immediately noted the authenticity of her sound, the emotional depth that had been missing from mainstream pop. Fans rejoiced, seeing in Courtney not just the same teenage powerhouse from AGT, but a matured artist who had fully embraced her voice. Courtney's comeback wasn't just professional, it was personal. She confirmed what millions of fans had hoped, that her distinctive, rebellious style wasn't an act, but her true identity. By staying true to herself, she proved that authenticity is more valuable than fleeting popularity. Every stage performance, every single note she releases now carries the weight of someone who fought to preserve her identity against immense pressure. Now, Courtney Hedwin's story stands as a testament to resilience and self-belief. She confirmed what fans long suspected: the girl who terrified judges and captivated audiences wasn't simply performing a role, she was revealing her soul. And by choosing to own her voice, she has redefined what it means to succeed in the music industry on her own terms. Courtney Hadwin's journey after AGT wasn't about chasing fame. It was about survival, authenticity, and finally confirming what millions of fans had long suspected, that the electrifying, raw, and rebellious energy she displayed on stage was no act, it was her true self. In Chapter 3, Courtney opens up about the challenges, the triumphs, and the moments that proved her path was worth every risk. After stepping away from the immediate post-AGT spotlight, Courtney faced a critical question: who would she become as an artist? If she wasn't conforming to expectations, labels pushed for polish, producers suggested she tone down her gritty voice, and industry mentors encouraged her to adopt a style more mainstream. It was tempting, and many young performers would have agreed, thinking it the only path to success. But Courtney knew better. Fans had long suspected that she wouldn't compromise her essence, and she confirmed it. "I can't perform someone else's voice," she said. "If I do, I lose the part of me that people actually connect with." During this time, Courtney began working with collaborators who respected her vision. They helped her refine her sound without diluting the intensity that had captivated millions. Writing sessions turned into experiments of rhythm, tone, and emotion, allowing her voice to mature naturally while remaining true to the style that had become her signature. She focused on songs that reflected real stories, real feelings, and real rebellion, just like the teenager who tore through AGT with raw intensity. Courtney also embraced live performance again, but on her own terms. Smaller venues, intimate shows, and acoustic sessions allowed her to test her growth as an artist while staying grounded. Fans noticed the difference immediately. The same powerful energy was there, but now tempered with experience and nuance. Courtney confirmed something crucial during interviews. Her authenticity wasn't just about staying wild on stage. It was about conveying emotion and connecting with listeners on a deeper level. Perhaps most importantly, Courtney addressed the personal challenges of fame. She revealed the anxiety, self-doubt, and pressure she faced after AGT. Yet, instead of breaking under it, she used it as fuel. Fans had suspected this resilience, and now Courtney openly confirmed it. Every performance, every recording, every public appearance was the result of conscious choices and deliberate courage. Her comeback culminated in the release of her first fully independent project. Critics praised the honesty and grit of the work, and fans celebrated the return of the Courtney Hadwin they had fallen in love with on AGT. By refusing to compromise her identity, she had proven that authenticity is not only powerful, it's transformative. By the time Courtney Hedwin returned to the public eye in 2025, it was clear that her journey was more than a story of raw talent. It was a story of resilience, self-belief, and uncompromising authenticity. In Chapter 4, Courtney finally confirmed what fans had long suspected. She would not allow the pressures of the industry, fame, or public expectation to dilute her identity as an artist. Following AGT, Courtney had faced immense pressure from labels and producers to transform into a mainstream pop star. They urged her to polish her voice, tone down her raspy edges, and conform to trends that didn't align with the soul of her music. Fans speculated that she would resist, and Courtney confirmed it. "I realized that if I let someone else define me, I would lose the voice that people connect with, the one that saved me and excited millions," she explained in a candid interview. Instead of rushing into releases or media appearances, Courtney spent time developing her sound independently. She collaborated with producers who understood her vision, explored musical styles that suited her unique voice, and wrote songs that expressed her emotions honestly. Each track became a declaration of her artistic freedom, blending grit, emotion, and power into a sound that was distinctly hers. Fans saw this as the confirmation they had hoped for. The voice they loved on AGT was still fully authentic, only stronger and more confident. Courtney also began performing again, but on her own terms. From intimate venues to acoustic showcases, she tested her music in spaces where she felt comfortable and in control. These performances not only strengthened her skills, but also demonstrated to the world that she could succeed without compromise. Social media exploded with support as fans recognized her courage and commitment to authenticity. Perhaps the most significant confirmation came through her debut album and single releases. Critics praised the unfiltered rawness of her sound, noting that it retained the same fire that had captivated audiences years earlier. Courtney's refusal to conform had transformed her into a role model for young artists everywhere, someone who proves that staying true to oneself can be both powerful and commercially viable. Beyond music, Courtney used her platform to inspire others. She spoke openly about the challenges of growing up in the public eye, dealing with pressure, and finding her own path. By sharing her journey, she encouraged aspiring performers to embrace their unique voices and resist external pressures to change. Fans had always suspected that Courtney was more than just a singer, and she confirmed it. She is a symbol of courage and integrity in an industry often dominated by conformity. As Chapter 4 closes, Courtney's story stands as a full confirmation of what the world suspected all along: the fire, soul, and rebellious spirit that electrified the AGT stage were never an act. They were the essence of who she is, and she would never compromise it. Her journey proves that true success is measured not by fame or chart positions, but by the ability to remain authentic, embrace your voice, and inspire others to do the same. Courtney Hadwin's legacy is clear: a young artist who refused to be molded, who confronted industry pressures head-on, and who finally confirmed the truth that fans had always sensed: the voice, the soul, and the courage were always hers.